Hey, beautiful people, it's Marissa Monique. Since it's the talk of the town, I thought that I would discuss some of the things that we might be able to learn from this Derrick Jaxn situation. The first one is we need to cancel this casual sex culture. It's not serving us well. In my lifetime, I have known quite a few people that have passed away because of toxic relationships or because of frivolous behaviors. Some of it has been taking their own life. Some of it has been getting their life taken by someone else. And the big one has been the HIV, y'all, and the complications that come along with that on the way to AIDS. And so, people are just being casual. They're not asking any questions. They're not doing anything. Something I noted, I watched, an interview with two of the mistresses of Derrick, and both of the ladies noted that they had either a pregnancy scare or one of them for sure had to who got pregnant. She got pregnant and decided not to keep it. And both of them said he doesn't like to use condoms. And I was thinking, boo, is he the only one there having sex? So you don't have any say so? Where's your power in this situation? Y'all need to be condom police, y'all. Y'all can't just run around here letting people just do you any way. You're afraid to ruffle feathers or draw a boundary. Speaking of boundaries, do you have any dingling discipline? Yeah, dingling discipline. Do you know how to look chocolate cake in the face and be like, no, thank you? Because that's what's happening. They're not able to do that. And whether they're being opportunists, whether they're being needy, whether they just want some attention, whatever it is, you need to heal enough and be strong enough and be confident enough to realize, hey, this ain't the opportunity for me. T.I. said, everything that's fine ain't the finest, and everything that shine ain't a diamond. She a freak though. He a freak though. Because it smells like there's some addiction here to sex and sexual things and bodies, boo. And that might not be the right person to be involved with. The next thing that this situation has just made me think of is this whole notion of don't ask, don't tell. So something you guys should know about me, or you can know about me that I'm sharing, is that I have been a flight attendant by day for about 16 years. And when I first became a flight attendant, I was just enamored with the whole job. I also had another traveling job, and I just enjoyed, watching or discovering all of the different environments in the United States. And so there were men coming and they were, asking me out or trying to take my number. And occasionally I would, oblige and I would go out with them. And on one or two occasions, I actually was able to nurture what I think is a decent, long distance dating relationship. I think just because of my job, I was able to see him pretty often. We were able to see each other pretty often, but those can always be tricky. Anyway, something I want to note is that when I was a fairly new flight attendant, maybe like 2 or 3 years in, I had a route to upstate New York, y'all. And the night manager at the Marriott, honey, was fine. And so I ended up picking up more routes there because we just seemed to have a twinkle in our eye with each other whenever I would check in. And so I eventually, would fly up there on my route, check into my room. He'd check us into our room. And then a few minutes later, up to an hour later, someone came a knocking, him. And honey, while he was stroking, he was putting these fingers all in this scalp. And I was like, oh my goodness. Please, baby Jesus, make sure that my husband does that. And please, baby Jesus, make sure that my husband does not see this video. Anyway, so maybe about the this same manager, the night manager at the Marriott in upstate New York, maybe about the fifth or sixth encounter, I suggested, hey, you know what? Like maybe on one of my off days, I should come up and we could, go out and, maybe get tickets to a show or go to dinner or, find something fun to do or whatever. And he was like, oh, well, actually, I live with my girlfriend and I got a 2-year-old. And I was like, be still my soul. What? And I was like, oh, I didn't know that. I thought you were single. He was like, oh, I just thought we were just, don't ask, don't tell. So see that? Don't ask, don't tell. And a lot of us are running around just casually hooking up with people and not asking and not telling. And so I had to learn that lesson. And so now I ask the details very early. I have had separated men, divorced men, engaged men ask me for my number. And I've been like, what you got going on? Oh, okay. So you're separated, but you still live in the house with your wife? Oh, you in the basement. Oh, okay. And the kid. Oh, okay. Really? No, honey, you need to be able to look chocolate cake in the face and say, no, thanks. That's not serving me. That's not what I want. And don't be running around here not knowing what your boundaries are, because that is a scary place to be. If you don't have any boundaries with people, then they'll negotiate something. For example, when you say, okay, I don't date married men, then the married man or whatever man that that you say you're not interested in, he says, oh, well, why don't we just be friends? And then you go, okay. And then you find yourself in a whole entanglement because of that. You see how that works? You see how I did that? And you see how you did that? Or how it could happen? Yeah. So you can't do that. You need to have firm boundaries and be able to walk away. Something else that this situation is making me think of is the whole notion that what is done in the dark will come to the light. It is so real out here. People think that they're just going to skate by and scoot by and do their little dirt and that it's never going to catch up with them. The Bible says that you reap what you sow, honey. And so you can think that you can lie, you can steal, you can cheat, you can manipulate, you can deceive, you can do whatever you want to do. And you think that it's not going to blow up. And you think that while your business is good, while you're about to release a new book, whatever you're about to do, that it will not harm you. And then all of a sudden, the things that you've done in the dark sneak up and bite you and threaten your livelihood and threaten your image and sometimes threaten your life or make you so angry that you want to take your own or take someone else's. See how that works? So if you decide to operate with honor and truth and, good decision making and knowledge and wisdom, then you don't have to look over your shoulder. You don't have to be paranoid. What you say can stand. You don't have to go and clean that up. And that is a very comforting place to be, a very peaceful and joyous place to be. And so those are some of the things that I feel like we need to take from this. As women and men, we need to have boundaries. We need to know what we want, and we need to not be willing to budge on them, especially when it comes to values and morals. Don't budge on those. Be careful about this casual culture, and please understand that what you do in the dark will come to the light.